Yup. I am Super Dungeon Boy. Spiky hair, to the best of my ability. It's kind of a bad hair day. Pay it no mind. So, this is a movie review, and I'm happy to say I actually got a movie that I would actually consider recommending. I've had one person email me and said that one of, what the hell was it? I'm trying to remember which exact movie it was, but they were disappointed with my review, and they stated that I was too negative or too harsh. And I'm not going to mention that person's name. I don't want to out them or anything like that. I don't do that. For those that want to privately email me or whatever, I will respond to your emails to the best of my ability. Right now, this channel is, only a dozen people probably know about it. So, but later on, if it ever comes to, if I ever get like 1,000 subscribers or something, I'll still do my best to come back and answer the emails and stuff. I actually enjoy when you guys give me some content back, whether it's, good, bad, whatever, content, what the hell did I just say? Feedback. There we go. So, in this particular movie that we're going to review, it's called, let me make sure I said the name right. Oh, okay, I was going to say something else here. The movie is called Snowpiercer. And for a minute I was going to say Snowplower, and that's not right. It's Piercer. And the whole movie is actually a pretty interesting one. Somebody told me that it was done before. It was a remake of an Asian film. I don't know if it had a similar title. But as far as I know, this is an English version of this one. If there's another one of this, I have no idea. I didn't look it up. Anyway, Snowpiercer, think of this. I forget the exact year. I think it's something like 2178 or something. Or no, 2078 or I don't know exactly. But basically it's quite some time, 100 years or so in the future. And global warming, as we know it, is a real thing. So despite what someone disbelieves that, they're stupid. It's greenhouse effect, or greenhouse gases and all the rest of it's a real thing, so, but whatever. Who am I to argue with you if you don't want to believe it? But global warming happens and the polar caps basically all melt and half the world's flooded, then it freezes over and whatever such. So pretty much all the temperature on Earth is out of whack. And if I remember right in the movie, only a small strip around the world, that would be the equator, going around the whole world, is the only part that's not really affected. So there's mass floodings throughout the world, and then more than half of the northern and southern hemisphere are completely frozen. So there's really no inhabitants to live on. So the lucky few that prepared for this were part of a community or whatever aboard a train called the Snowpiercer. And it's a train, now let me explain this train. Some billionaire, or quadruple billion trillionaire, whatever he is. The guy's kind of like a Bill Gates smarty pants, or Steve Jobs, or whatever you want to say. And he basically foreseen this happening many years before. He's an older guy, of course. He foreseen this coming, and he prepared for it. And through his company, whatever it was called, he helped make train tracks, this is pretty cool, that cross the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, all the 7 seas. Imagine a train track, a continuous train track that goes around the entire world, and it hits all through the major cities, all through the world. Now, that's pretty damn cool. And basically on the train, they basically have one rule. The train never stops, because if you stop, apparently with this world that's frozen over, everything will freeze and you'll be stranded, and you got to always keep moving and plowing through the snow on the train tracks, thus called Snowpiercer. So, anywho, so just that concept of a train that can travel the entire world, I think, to me, that's pretty damn cool. Because, as primitive as we are now compared to that idea, we don't even have freaking roads that connect the Atlantic or anything else like that. Now, do you believe in the lost city of Atlantis? Were they all connected at one time? I don't know if that's fairy tale, real, or whatever. Do your own homework. But in my mind, I was thinking of something similar. I'm getting too sidetracked here. Let me back that up. So on the train, you have two kinds of people. You have the 1% cream of the crop rich people, and they live all in the upper carts, or yeah, I believe they call them the upper carts. And basically the structure of the train is you got the locomotive here, the train, okay, but except it's built with some advanced science, like, if I dare say, if I remember right, something like some fusion technology or something. The thing always has energy for however so, whatever. And their water supply, if you ever wonder how they ever drink water, they have a filtering system that collects snow, which is abundance out there, and it makes moisture, traps it, converts it into drinking water through filters or whatever. So they got that. This train is so freaking cool. It's its own ecosystem. So let's begin with the structure of the train. You have basically the front of the train, which is the, what's keeping it going. Then you have all the rich people and all their various carts. They have their own aquarium, which is their own, livestock of fish and all the other stuff. They literally have a small little ocean on board this massive train. They even have another little area, that's just dedicated for the kids and daycare and all the rest of it. Then they got school, then they got what the hell else they got? I think they even have a gymnasium from it, right? They have all kinds of crap. This train is like stupendous. They have their own ecosystem inside the train. They raise like chicken and pig and whatever else, and they have their own little factory workers and all the rest. Now, the further you go back into the train, then that's where the poor people, that's the 99%, which probably you and I would be in, and they're stuck to the back of the train. Now, they're existers, pretty much. Now, they have a high purpose to why the hell would the rich people need these people? I'll explain in a minute. The train can't run just off of one person. You need all these people and all the things, like a little ecosystem, to keep it all going. Now, the common folk, they're only there for pretty much labor. If I remember right, I'm trying to remember, there is no currency at all in this little ecosystem. But however, they trade like food and clothing and whatever else, any kind of little precious metals they can find. And something that's funny in the movie is something like ammunition is pretty much extinct. So guns are still around, but you don't have any bullets. And you're like, well, what the hell's the point of that? In the movie, the guards that are keeping the rich and the common folk separated, they have guns. Little do the poor, stupid people know that they don't have any bullets for it, so they can just rush the guards. They can't kill them. There's no ammunition. But they don't know that. Later on, the main hero, I forget his name, I think it's like Elliot or something. No, it's not Elliot, I'm sorry. What's his name? I thought it was Eric or something. I don't know. I thought it was with an E. Excuse me. The name will come to me later, I'm sure. Anyways, how much time we got here? Damn, it was a long-ass review. So, the main hero discovers that these people are being enslaved. Little do they know it, because this is all these people know. They were raised on this train, some of them. Other ones were brought on the train, but they're like real old. And you do not mess with the upper class folk. You are put in your place, the 1% rule all and all this crap. Kind of like what's happening today. Anyways, so what's funny is this movie makes you think about, morality and should 99% of the population suffer all because of 1% and stuff like that. And they really are big on that one focus of this dividing point of rich and poor and all the rest of it. Or I should say privileged and unprivileged, if you want to put it that way. But anyways, this movie is actually for once something different. Um, Again, I don't know if it's a remake of some kind of Asian film. I'm told, but I didn't do the homework, of course. But it's still an original concept. And to elaborate more about this main hero, he basically is leading the people to find better food. The food that they eat is this like black gelatin block, and it looked something like that, and it must taste like straight, just crap. Just looking at it looked bad. Imagine like black Jello in like a power bar form. Ugh. It doesn't even look right. You could pretty much say it looks like a dog crap. Anyways, so they're tired of eating that crap, and they're tired of doing without. They don't even have any new clothing. They need medical care. They need, they're just neglected, But anyone that tries to rise up against the order, they're taught a lesson. And one of the ways that they'll teach you a lesson, because it's sub-zero temperature outside, they have like this hole or something, and it's just big enough to put like an arm through there. So they'll force you to put your arm through the hole, and they'll give you 10 minutes. They have a little watch, and they let your arm be outside, exposed to the elements of sub-zero temperature. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what happens. So when the 10 minutes are up, they bring your arm back in, and your arm is completely frozen. Then they strap you down, lay you down on some kind of table, and they take a sledgehammer and they whoosh, and they just shatter your arm. Could you imagine? God, that must suck. To feel that and then to feel that, oh man, that's brutal. Now, it brings me to another point, that this movie is definitely a step above PG-13. I don't know if it's rated R, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Probably hear an alarm or something in the background. Pay it no mind. Give me a second. Where is that dude? Kind of getting hot in here. Got to turn the fan on. Anyways, I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. Excuse me. However, there was I think only 3 or so memorable actors in the movie. One of which I believe was Ed Harris. There's Ed Harrison or Ed Harris. Ed Harrison, I believe it is. He's looking real old though, but the guy is old. He plays the main villain in the movie. He's the train conductor slash billionaire, whatever. He's the one that made this whole thing. It's his creation to keep this train going. And those that want to oppose it or stand in the way of order basically are going to be taught lessons. Well, you can imagine an uprise. Again, whatever that main hero, I forget his name, he leads his people to the front of the train. But they have to go through so many different tasks. They're seeing stuff for the first time. They're seeing the brainwashing that goes on to the little children. That, here's what's so funny. I forgot to mention this. The rich do have their own little populace. However, they kidnap some of the children from the common folk, and they bring them to the front, and they don't know what they do with them. So you start wondering, like, what the hell? Why do they keep taking these children? Why the fuck are they taking the children? And then later on, you start to find out some things. I don't really want to spoil too much, but basically they brainwash the children, and they turn them into whatever it is they want to turn them into. They pretty much, in a sense, the 1% of the train, they're pretty much Nazis. I don't really know what else you want to call them. They believe that they're different than everybody else, and they have privileges, and they have the right to be so righteous and whatever else. And yeah. Anyways, like I said, there was 3 main actors that really you would remember. Ed Harrison would be one. There was this Japanese chick. I know I seen her in like kung fu films and stuff that are like subtitled kung fu films. Don't know her name, but I'm pretty sure if you watch the movie, you'll be like, oh, I know her. She's from one of those movies like Flying Daggers or some shit, or House of Flying Daggers, or one of those ones. I'm pretty sure it's her. Then the other one, I'm 99% sure that the other memorable person is this, is he Korean or is he Japanese? I think he's Japanese. He's this Japanese, what is he? He's like an architect slash, pretty much do-it-yourself fixer-upper kind of guy, a machinist or something. And he knows all the inner workings of the train, and he basically is called upon by the main hero, and they help him out, and he's forced, the Japanese guy is forced to help him out in how to open up the doors, because they all have these fail safes, and you got to know how to do the codes and all this weird stuff to open the doors. Well, the Japanese guy, he just figures it out. He's like, all you got to do is go underneath, do something to the cords, make it open up, and then that's it. So he knows how to do it. Nobody else knows how to do it. He's very important. But he is, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure, he's the guy that played in the original Old Boy movie. He's Old Boy. And God, I'm beating myself up for not remembering his damn name. Before this video even started, I did another video, and I had the name in my head. Should have wrote the damn thing down. Of course I don't. And now I can't remember his damn name, but it's that guy from Old Boy, the original Old Boy. And the minute I saw him, I was like, oh, is that? I think it is. Oh, snap. This movie's going to be awesome. So, with those three memorable actors, overall, this video went way too long. I'm sorry for how long it went. What, 16 minutes and change? Oh, I should probably edit this. Snowpiercer, in my opinion, gets a 7.5. However, it's a must-own if you're a sci-fi fanatic. It has the smallest bit of, I would say, eccentric violence, so it's probably rated R if I remember right. But it's definitely a must-see, a must-rent, a must-own if you're a sci-fi fan. To me, I haven't seen something like this original in quite some time. So even if it is a remake, I'm not sure. They did a good job, in my opinion. The acting is solid. The story is straightforward. You don't get lost. You like the characters. There's like 1 to 2 twists at the end, and I'm not going to tell you what they are, of course. Good movie. Definitely recommend it.